to Halcyon, the city of hopes and dreams. Superpowered supervillains lay their super schemes. And if you want to take them on, you're gonna need a team to win the fight. But for the Varsity Knights, teenagers by day, superheroes by night, young and strong and daring and ready to fight. When evil comes around to take a bite,
watch out for megabytes.
Look for the Varsity Knights.
So, a couple of mechanics I'd like to bring up before we dive into things, just in case they come up. On everybody's playbooks, you should have a section in the back where you've been marking potential. Above that is a section called Team Moves. And these are moves that you can use when you either share a moment of celebration or vulnerability with someone. Some of them let you get extra advantages, some of them shift labels, but they're all designed to give you reasons to interact meaningfully with your teammates. Then above that is the section called Moment of Truth. Essentially what this is a one-time use tool that you can use to take narrative control from me as the GM to say, my character is awesome and this is what happens. In order to use that, you need to take the advance Unlock Your Moment of Truth when you level up. So with that said, we're going to go around and share a particular highlight for your character, or, a low light for your character, depending on how you want to frame it.
Well, I think that Kitty's low light, as it was having to stop her little brother from wreaking death and destruction upon the entire school.
That definitely makes sense.
It's a big deal.
Tyson thought it was pretty cool to be able to push his brain out and see people and find things and discover new things with his brain. That was pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah, the whole magic thing kind of sucked. Wasn't great. Didn't feel very good.
Yeah, I can imagine so. Mel's not the kind of person who would be used to getting hurt at this point.
I think Diego really enjoyed being able to express himself like he used to now, and being able to warp his voice back to normal by trying to be as close to meat as he could, which is dead leather.
Yeah. Well, we're going to pick up this session on the day after. The primary question I want to ask from everybody is, who goes to school the day after this party?
Kitty does, for sure.
Yeah, Mel definitely does. This is a very, novel experience for them to be able to go to public school, and they're absolutely gonna go.
Tyson has a headache, and he's gonna play it up and try to stay home from school.
I think that you are allowed to stay home from school by Bob, who Tyson may or may not pick up on this, but you're pretty sure that Bob knows what went down. How about Diego?
I think he will. After what happened at the party with Jordan Squalor returning, he's going to try to stay as close to the group as possible.
Mm-hmm. The three of you who do attend school, Diego probably in hiding like you usually are noticing a couple of changes. Since the attack by Skaluchdor, there has been this increased presence on campus. And that presence is people in suits with badges, sunglasses. You swear you've seen this hammerhead shark walking around sometimes. But you're pretty sure that A.E.G.I.S is actively investigating Tucker Island Public School at this point. They aren't interacting with any of the students directly, exactly, but in the day immediately after the party, this presence has almost doubled. Diego, you are finding it more and more difficult to actually avoid scrutiny because there are people who are actively looking and trained in spotting metahuman stuff.
I sneak into one of the classrooms, probably Kitty's.
How do you sneak into this classroom? Let's make it the history class.
It's crawling on the ceiling, camouflaging into the ceiling by becoming that material.
The drop ceiling.
The drop ceiling, yeah.
Staple of schools everywhere.
And are you trying to get Kitty's attention?
Yes, actually.
So Kitty and Nell both have this class together. With
Mr. Han?
Mr. Han.
It's kind of gross, but he breaks off the tip of his finger and...
Oh.
Sorry.
Kitty looks up and sees you.
And then I put like a finger over the lips, which
What,
might...
what remains of the
What
Drops
remains-
another finger.
Half finger over the lips, and then just motion towards the bathroom.
Mr. Han, may I use the restroom, please?
We are in the middle of our class discussion, but
I break off a piece of finger and I throw it at the corner to distract him.
Looks over, confused.
I also actually meant to get both of them, so I guess a third piece of finger and throw it at Nell.
Nell just kind of brushes it off.
He's got 2 left. The part of the pinky. He breaks off the pinky.
Let's cut away as the shot cuts right as the pinky snaps. To Tyson, you're staying at home playing up being sick with Bob. Is that correct?
Yeah.
What does this look like?
Very Ferris Bueller. He's coughing and saying that his head really hurts. I don't know, Bob. I don't feel really good today. I just want to stay home from school.
I understand, Tyson. Listen, Sport, you take the day off. I've got some things that I need to take care of, but we've got to get you back to school eventually.
Wait.
Yeah.
He's not used to, I think, the leniency. I think in group homes, well, I know in group homes, it's like, nope, you gotta go. Doing this now. Suck it up and go. So it's like, he's appreciative of it, but also feeling like maybe a little bad because he's playing it up.
Well, can I get you anything, champ?
A Gatorade?
All right. I'll see if I can go grab a Gatorade.
Bob heads out to the door.
Oh, and a sewing kit.
Sounds good, I think. And as he opens the door, you see standing in the doorway is Agent Hammerhead.
Just pull the covers over his head.
Agent Hammerhead spreads her arms, fins? You're not entirely sure.
Arms?
Bob! Greco! You gonna invite me in? Where's the little scamp?
This isn't a good time.
Yeah, I know it's not a good time, but you know, schedule's a little bit accelerated due to what that little guy did last night. So, you gonna let me in or not? I do have a permit.
Is Tyson hearing this?
Yes.
He wanted a sewing kit because he believes, I would think that his maybe costume had a little bit of, some tears here and there. So maybe he wanted to fix a bit. But he does not want to deal with Agent Hammerhead, and he's gonna sneak out.
Okay. Like a window or something?
He's gonna do the Ferris Bueller and stuff some pillows under his bed. I don't have a fake dummy. How high off the ground is my bedroom?
Bob's apartment is probably one of those like big apartment complex kind of deals, so odds are pretty high. But as you're putting stuff away, you're hearing the conversation between the two of them. It seems like Agent Hammerhead is basically here to discuss your continued enrollment at the public school. And she's bringing up that you apparently had another meltdown and also attacked 2 other students the other night.
They had it coming.
I mean, to be fair, they were going to attack someone else.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah. But you know, it looks a little bit different.
it does.
Bob, of course, is being very defensive of you, but he eventually stops and just says, okay, listen, Linda, if you want to add stipulations to him being at school, that's fine. We're upping our investigations anyways, okay? It's not like there won't be security around to keep the other students safe. I know that Tyson can be dangerous sometimes, but he is a kid. He should get a chance to still be a kid. He is trying to shift your danger down and your mundane up from afar. Are you going to accept this?
Yes, because Bob let Tyson stay home, and he's never had somebody stand up for him.
We see Tyson looking back at this just as he's sneaking out of the window. We see the little pillow Tyson underneath the sheets, clearly in frame, and as Tyson leaves the window, the camera stays there, zooming out to Bob's jacket hung on the door with an Aegis badge on it.
Oh.
So, let's look back at the bathroom. My question for Nell is, are you there?
I think eventually, yes.
Okay.
It just may
Perfect.
have taken a couple fingers.
As a reminder to Diego, Nell still doesn't know.
I know,
that
I know,
Kitty's
I know.
Ricochet.
I know.
And so I think Nell walks in holding a couple of fingers.
But before Nell made it to the bathroom, it was 45 seconds of Diego like being like, so are we gonna tell Nell or what? Are we gonna tell Nell or what?
Tell them what?
Kitty, seriously. Are you wearing a leather jacket, please?
Sure.
Yeah, it's like a
Leather
pink
jacket.
one, yeah.
May I?
Okay.
He pokes you and then he turns into leather.
Pink leather.
Pink leather, yes. Oh god, that must look really.
Like a Pepto-Bismol person.
Like a walking eraser.
He hates this, but he's gonna go with it. You know what I'm talking about. Are we gonna tell them that you are Ricochet?
Nope.
I think it sounds like you're trying to provoke Kitty to
Ooh.
reveal her identity.
I mean, I was.
So would you like to roll plus superior for me?
Sorry, Nikki.
That's okay.
Good. Nah, that's a 3.
Kitty, you're not entirely clear on why he wants this so bad, but I'm going to allow you to turn this around on him for free because of that miss. If you would like to provoke him to do something, you could get that as if you rolled a 10.
Ooh, what would Kitty want out of Diego? We're gonna go with the, you know what, just drop it. Pretend, just forget that you even know. Okay?
Diego, if you do this, you can add a team to the pool. If you don't do it, you have to mark a condition.
I'm going to do it. It's fine.
Alright, and then as Nell comes in,
Says, I guess today's a girl's bathroom kind of day.
Hi. Yes, I was trying to get your attention. Thanks, Kitty, for the Pepto-Bismol. It really helped.
Yeah, so I can go back to class now?
Yeah.
Alright, great.
And hey, before you go, yesterday at the party, the fact that you stayed afterwards to help all those people, that was real nice. Heroic, I would even call it.
Alright, thanks.
So why are you throwing things at me?
Oh, I'll take those.
Okay.
And then turns back into that material. Is like, shit. Have you noticed all the presents at the school lately?
Yeah, it's kind of obnoxious.
Yeah. And the thing that happened yesterday with Squalor.
Yeah, also kind of weird.
So, I've been thinking, and I think eventually it's gonna come to a choice of choosing a side. Okay, I don't like Squalor. In fact, I think he's kind of an asshole, and for what he did, he doesn't earn my trust just like that. But he did give us this, and I pull up the invitation.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe we can try and figure out what this place is, like, over the weekend or something? Is there, like, a specific date, time, place?
there
on the
is not.
invitation?
It is just a general invitation.
So I'm thinking maybe you, me, Ricochet, check it out. I'm really scared about the kid. Don't tell him I said that. It'll break his heart.
I mean, scared for him or scared of him?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, I kind of get that. Not even Skull can really throw me across the room like that.
Yeah. I mean, if you think we should bring him, we could, but I don't know. I'm not the leader here.
Maybe we just talk to him, because it seemed like, him and Squall are really not a good combo, so odds are he probably won't want to go anyway. But he's still a friend,
Yeah.
and I don't know if he finds out, like, we went without him knowing. That's probably not gonna be great either.
Fuck, you're right. Okay. Somebody's gonna have to get Ricochet. I would, but I guess I don't know who they are. Can your people do it?
I mean, I can see if Skull might know something.
Yeah.
I mean,
That guy.
or, I don't know, talking to Kitty kind of seemed to work to get Ricochet to base. I don't know if that was, like, just coincidence,
That must have been the
but
coincidence.
maybe someone, like, overheard or something. Maybe Kitty talked to people. I don't know. So I'm probably just gonna do that again to hope it works.
Let's look at Kitty real quick. Kitty, you're walking back to class
Yep.
when Amy stops you in the hallway.
grabs you by the shoulders and says, "Thank you so much for staying to help clean up my house."
Yeah, of course. Is it okay? Or is everything still structurally sound?
Yeah, as far as I can tell, hopefully my parents don't find out.
Right, yep.
It's just so heroic what you did for me, Ricochet.
What?
Amy stops, her eyes almost reset, and she looks directly at you and says, "Come down to the tunnels in 1 week's time. Bring your friends. The Meta Academy awaits." And then her eyes reset again, and she says, "It's just so heroic what you did for me, Kitty."
Amy, have you been talking to anybody weird?
No, not that I know of. I mean, Chet's weird, but...
Oh, well, yeah, no, not Chet. No problem, of course.
Hey, thank you so much. I gotta get back to class.
Right. Yeah, me too.
In this next week at school, the security definitely ramps up more. There were previously just Aegis agents. Now there appear to be Aegis security at the school. They are patrolling, actively scanning for something, and they are completely blocking off any inquiry about what they are doing specifically, other than we are trying to keep the school safe because we've detected an abnormal amount of metahuman activity here.
So can we say this conversation is happening in the hideout
Yes.
base?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, did you have a name for it?
Oh,
I had the suggestion of Wolf's Den,
yeah. Let's go
or
with that.
the Den.
Yeah. I like that. Nell spent some time after school kind of cleaning it up, so it has like a bit of new paint on one wall, some like posters, refreshed snacks. Still a little bit of a mess though.
Video games?
Probably not. Maybe a couple board games.
Fine.
Did Tyson bring his own video games?
Did he
Game
bring
Boy.
his Game Boy?
Yeah.
Can it be a Game Gear?
Oh yeah, sure.
Game Gear.
Would it be safe to assume that Kitty shares the invitation extension with everybody else on the team?
I think as Ricochet whenever they meet up, yeah. And she might even say, without giving the full details of the fact that it was her friend Amy and this was in the hallway, just be like, yeah, and this person was acting kind of weird. Like, you know, maybe something had taken over their mind kind of weird, much like before.
So probably whoever did that nonsense with Skuluchidor also did this thing to invite us to Medic.
Doesn't really bode so well for getting us on their side.
No, right now they just kind of sound like assholes.
But I thought that the Carmichael kid was frozen, like not speaking.
Well, the thing was that he seemed to think that someone had told him to do it, but we know that that person didn't tell him to do it. So that seemed like an implanted memory or something. I guess this seemed more like possession. Maybe they're different, but they're both weird mind tricks.
Seems reasonable that the same person would have those abilities. They're close enough. So figuring this stuff out might bring us closer to whoever that person is.
So as this conversation is happening, you hear the beep of the key cards opening up the front door to the den, and a Skull comes in through the front door to see the four of you sitting around at the one conference table.
Ah, cousin! How are you? Are you okay? Are you hurt? I heard about your two run-ins with some powerful forces recently.
Do you mean Megabyte and Skuluchidor?
Oh, no. This one right here.
Oh.
Playing Game Gear. And, this Luchador one, yes, absolutely.
Spectre's fine. The Skuluchidor kinda sucked, but, you know.
Okay. I'm glad that you're not hurt.
Yeah. I mean, there's also the little magic Healy thing over there, which is... I tried using it, mostly just tickled.
The fact that you needed it at all is, kind of a failing on my part, I would imagine.
Why is that?
Well, to be honest, what I should have done is been with you more during some of these missions, like your uncle did for me.
I mean,
I just kind of cut you loose. You don't even have your full suite of powers yet.
well, no, but also, like, Skulltula was at school, so unless you want to come to school with me,
If that's what it takes.
that might be a little excessive.
Of course.
Especially with all the Aegis people.
Oh, they love
there.
me there.
Do you know what their deal is?
I can certainly try to find out, but I just want you to take it easy for a bit. You've dealt with some pretty high-level threats recently, so you should feel free to take a break. Let me handle things, you know?
You kind of sound like Hammerhead a little bit. It just that she also, told me to stay out of things. But it's like that's not the point, right?
Well, sure, it's not the point, but cousin, listen. I understand you want to jump into this, and you want to start saving everybody, being the big hero. It's a lot to live up to, this mantle. But you have to remember that you're just a person. And you can't save other people if you're getting hurt along the way.
I mean,
He's attempting to shift your savior down and your mundane up.
Tyson is taking off his headphones on the ear that you can't see.
yeah, no, definitely going to allow that because I have all zeros but a max savior, and this makes it a lot more interesting. Also, Nell just looks up to Skull a lot, so they'll overall listen and try to take this advice, even if they are a little bit conflicted still.
So next time that you run into something big, give me a call. I'll come help.
Academy.
Actually, have you heard of this thing called Meta Academy?
Meta Academy?
Or someone named Dr. Lecture? Or someone with, like, mind control powers?
As you get more and more detailed, his face twists into more and more thoughtful. And then he eventually says,
I might have something for you. I'll have to talk to your uncle first. He's the expert on this area.
Yeah, sure.
Tell you what, I'll talk to him, and then I'll make sure that he gets into contact with you soon. Otherwise, you and your team. Are you a team? Are you just friends?
No, we're a team. We even have a name.
I'm not saying
What's the name?
the Mega Blasters.
We're the Varsity Knights.
That too.
I like the first one better.
Thank you.
Oh, but I already had the shirt's name.
Well, you and the rest of your little team enjoy yourselves.
Oh, also, if you could maybe get some info to me, like, within the next few days, that'd be super cool.
Of course, I'm nothing if not timely. And then as he says this, his watch starts beeping, and you hear him say under his breath, "Oh, shit, excuse me, I'm late for something."
Any chance you got something like uniforms for us?
Oh, well, Nell goes over and pulls out this box and opens it up. I got t-shirts.
That's kind of like a uniform.
Well, it's not like I knew everyone's size.
Tyson hops
Like-
into the box. Got one! Puts it on backwards.
Did he get the biggest t-shirt in there? The one
took
that
the
was
big one,
probably
of course.
like intended for Diego?
Yeah.
He took the big one.
of course.
So now Diego has to wear the what looks like a crop top.
I want to say that Ricochet's like, she pulls it on, but we talked about how it might be kind of like the Evil Knievel thing, where it's like the arms have this cape that attaches to below.
Oh, yep.
So it like really doesn't work on top of that costume.
Nice.
I mean, I figured you could, cut it or
Like a poncho.
modify it.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, you know what? I should probably cut this one. It's really big.
So like I said, the security has been upping itself, and Diego, unless you want to push your luck, you've been kind of forced to stay within the tunnels in order to stay out of Aegis's eyesight, essentially.
Okay.
So what we're going to do right now is we're going to see a little bit of Diego just kind of like on your own underneath the school within the tunnel system. You're waiting for Tyson to make his way down there. However, Tyson is a little bit late.
Diego has borrowed from the school library some reading material, and he is reading specifically monster-based books. Like he reads The Phantom of the Opera, Hunchback of Notre Dame, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Creature from the Black Lagoon, all that stuff.
As you're doing this, you are engrossed in your books, but occasionally looking up to see, where is Tyson? Why is Tyson not here yet? And that's when you start hearing a faint pinging sound from further down the tunnels.
Okay, I'm gonna put the books down and follow.
Okay. And the sound becomes a lot clearer. It's electronic of some kind, like some sort of device is beeping. And there are, as you get closer, sounds of muffled voices as if being conveyed over some sort of radio.
He touches the wall to make himself stone, just in case.
And I think as you turn around the corner, you see a contingent of Aegis security guards in like full combat gear patrolling around the tunnels. One of them is holding a device. It looks to be a tracker of some kind. You hear one of them saying to the other one, "Goes down this way. Don't worry, we'll find it." And they start turning towards your direction. Tyson, let's look up at you. So you're going towards the tunnel entrance, but there are a couple people currently stationed outside of it.
Okay, he's got, let me known, he's got a blown pupil, backpack, skateboard, game gear. And so I would imagine he was like skateboarding haphazardly with his game gear and then all of a sudden seeing this stuff. And so he would like tuck his skateboard in his backpack and be sneaky.
So there are a couple people that you don't recognize, but basically they're like full Aegis gear with badges on their vests. Aegis issued plasma guns at the ready. Also standing outside of there is a teacher that you know is Miss Fraser. In the middle of a very heated conversation with the Aegis security guards. What do you mean I cannot go down into the tunnels? I go down into the tunnels all the time. You can control our schools all you want, but the tunnels are outside of your jurisdiction. Ma'am, there's been good evidence of a meta-human threat down below in these tunnels. We have a team going down there to flush it out. Listen, I am a grown woman, and you cannot tell me where it is that I can and can't go. If I want to go down there and face a meta-human threat on my own, then I will do that. So get out of my way, please, sir. Mr. Cameron. What kind of name is that, anyways? Atlantean, ma'am. Ah! Okay, I understand. Apologies, that was insensitive. But let me down! What are you doing?
Tyson's gonna try to find another way into the tunnels.
Okay. As far as you know, this tunnel system has a couple of entrances, but if they're patrolling this one, they're patrolling other ones.
Okay, yeah, I want to use my elemental awareness.
Okay, 2d6 plus conditions marked.
Plus 1. I have guilty.
Okay. 11. Cool. So I think that means that you get 3 burn for free, essentially.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. Spend 1 burn and mark a condition to open your mind. I would be afraid.
Okay. I think that as you extend your psychic mind outwards, previously you were doing this to try to find other minds. In this case, you're doing that, but you're also kind of like extending your telekinetic mind out to see like what is the geography like. Between the two of those things, I think you're able to find an entrance to the tunnel system that Aegis has missed. So Tyson makes his way, skateboards his way over towards the unmarked entrance to the tunnel system, which I think is going to be like some sort of like sewer grate, essentially.
Yeah. He does some sick hip flips though.
Okay.
He doesn't waste this.
Let's look at Kitty in a student council meeting.
Okay.
Currently. Myra, who is the secretary of the student council, usually comes to these with an agenda, and on this one, she has one big bullet point written on it, and that bullet point is transparency. Aegis. And the entirety of this meeting is basically taken up by the student council making plans to present a unified front to Aegis, saying, you can't just be on our school without telling us what's going on. As the conversation kind of comes to a head, Chet is, as you might imagine, very gung-ho, just like, yeah, let's just take it to them. I'll challenge one of them to one-on-one combat to tell me what's going on.
Chet, do you really think that you could beat a trained agent in one-on-one combat?
Oh, you don't know. I do kendo.
I also don't think that anything in the school rules or the law really entitles you to one-on-one combat that would then get what we want.
Alright, but if they say no, then they're wimps. And then we basically win.
We don't
There's,
get any transparency that way.
Big groan from everybody else in the room as Myra is just like, okay, Kitty, you're the other co-president.
Mm-hmm.
I can set you up a meeting with the agent in charge. She's agreed to at least speak to one student liaison. Can you present our case?
Yeah, of course. I guess what I want to know is, what are we bringing? I mean, we can ask them all we want to give us transparency, but it doesn't seem like we have a lot of bargaining chips.
Well, see, I've been doing some digging, because E.G.I.S is like a government agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was looking through some of their websites and like digging around, and I found their procedural handbook.
Oh, you're good.
And as she says that, she swipes over to another slide, and there's a highlighted section. It's all in very kind of like legalese kind of stuff, but E.G.I.S should not be allowed to take unilateral action without presenting probable cause.
Excellent. Yeah, I have this handled.
And now let's take a look over at Hati. Where would you be after school?
Oh, well, either training somewhere or chores at home. Because Nell is still a teenager living with their parents and still has chores.
That's fair. So I'm gonna say this is Nell raking the leaves in the front yard.
Alright.
You've got like a very nice pile of leaves put together, and you take a second to stop and admire the handiwork when you hear a voice coming from behind you. Hati. You see your Uncle Balder.
Was startled, so spun around and wielded the rake like an axe.
I see you've done a good job with the leaves.
Oh, you think so? I kind of lost track of time the other day and didn't really get to things, so Mom was kind of upset, and I'm hoping, if I make things really nice, she'll be, less bothered that I missed some other chores earlier in the week. And
Now, can I offer you a piece of advice from a former cape to a newly minted one?
yeah, of course.
Sometimes when you talk less, you say more.
Okay.
Listen, your cousin mentioned that you were looking into a doctor lecture.
Yeah.
I haven't tangled with him in a while. He pops up every now and then around the world, but when it comes to this guy, you cannot hesitate. Because, and as he says this, he hands you again an E.G.I.S file that is labeled Doctor Lecture. This guy is not exactly magic. He's what people call a mentalist.
Can he do like implanting memories and mind control kind of stuff?
Hypnosis, cold reading, that whole works.
Alright.
And here's the thing. The way he operates, if he's revealing some of his cards, he's already planted some traps and got himself established. He doesn't operate openly. He tends to take on disguises. So, when you find him, you cannot hesitate. You cannot worry about what kinds of people he might put up between him and you.
When you say puts people like between, do you mean disguises or do you mean like hostages?
Hostages, shields, whatever. To take him down, you have to focus on him and not worry about anybody else, because the more time he has, then he will take you over as well. When you get an opportunity, you strike hard, you strike fast, and you don't let him make a move.
Okay.
He is also shifting your labels. This one is Savior Down, Danger Up.
Oh. No, take that.
Your leaf pile's blowing over.
Oh.
And as you look over at the leaf pile and then look back at him, he's done the Batman vanish on you.
Well, you could have helped me get the tarp from the shed. Oh.
Let's take a look back at Diego.
Well, he's screwed.
So there are people coming towards you. They've got their tracker out. You know that they are trained. To somebody like Nell, possibly they wouldn't be a terrible threat. To you, they could do some serious harm.
Okay. Yeah, he's going to run around the tunnels as quietly as he can, and
Roll plus superior for me.
yeah, 4.
It's a 4?
Yep.
Okay. You duck into an area that you think is gonna be safe for a little bit, and then you start looking around to try to spot where these people might be coming from. It's very dark. The beeping seems to have faded into the distance, but you can't seem to see anything. And that's when a plasma beam strikes the wall right next to you.
Shit.
chasing after you.
Shit. He runs, and this is disgusting, but he's going to jump into the sewer water
Okay.
and become sewage.
Okay.
I know, it's gross.
It looks of shit.
So you can definitely do this. My question is, do you want to try to unleash your powers to put distance between you and them?
Yes, and I think he, with disgust in his face and feeling like he's gonna puke but nothing's coming out because he has nothing to puke out, he just goes for the jump and he wants to try to, as sewage, swim as fast as possible like an eel.
Okay.
Unleash my powers is just plus freak, right?
Yes, it is.
A big freak.
I am a big freak. And now I roll 2 6s.
Nice. Okay.
Who cares about the freak? That's a 15.
So, I think as this happens, you dive into the water, and there are these beams of electric energy arcing around, hitting the sides of the tunnel around you. We see a pile of shit just streaming through the sewers.
I'm not proud of it.
So quickly you do this so that you're able to completely escape of this crew. And I think, you
Can I shoot out?
exactly my thoughts. I think,
Oh,
Tyson, you
no.
just got into the sewers, and then the first thing that you see is a column of sewer water coming up towards you.
Cut to Tyson going, oh shit. And is it possible for him to do an about face, get on his skateboard, and just prevent himself from riding the shit waves?
I think, Diego, you're able to stop yourself with that.
I am. I'm gonna be like, hey, kid, anybody? It's me, Diego.
Wow, what? Yeah.
It's me. You don't have to ask questions. There's some fuckers coming this way. Quick, get on. Have you ever seen Point Break?
Of course I have. With
Just-
Keanu Reeves?
Do like Keanu or Patrick, whichever one.
Please. Okay, fine. He's gonna use his skateboard as a turd board.
Okay, it's not just shit. It's also
No,
water.
it's water. It's water.
So
I'm sorry. If I serve you a glass of water and there's a drop of shit in it, I say it's mostly water. Alright, that's all shit.
I'm so sorry, kid.
So he's got one hand out for balance, the other hand is pitching his nose.
So I only just came to this realization. Diego's just naked all the time.
Yeah.
Alright,
Let's not dive into this.
Alright, Kitty. I think we see Kitty going up to a group of Aegis agents. These are the suits and sunglasses types. One of them with a very wide pair of sunglasses upon a hammerhead shark's face.
Hi, I'm the student class co-president.
Yeah, I got 15 minutes for you. What's your problem?
Right, so the student council met. We found this reference in your Aegis handbook, and she's gonna pull up the slide that Myra had put up in the student council. And you can't take unilateral action without presenting probable cause, which means, in short, you need to tell us what's going on.
Can you roll provoke?
Yeah. That's a 6.
So I think as you say this, Agent Hammerhead
slams the little hollow notebook shut and then looks around at the rest of the agents and says, "Can you give us the hallway?" Listen, I don't know who you think you are.
I'm the junior class co-president.
Alright? That doesn't mean anything to me. I am an agent of A.E.G.I.S. You ever heard of it? Advanced Expert Group for Intervention and Security. We keep the entirety of Halcyon City safe. Your little class politics doesn't mean anything to me, alright, miss?
Okay, but I feel like your handbook should mean something to you.
Are you an A.E.G.I.S agent?
No.
Do you know
I'm
how
a high
we work?
schooler.
Great. You've read the handbook. Do you know how many A.E.G.I.S agents have read that handbook?
Probably not very many.
Exactly. I know how the real world works. You're just a kid, alright? And she's gonna try to shift your mundane up and your superior down.
Ooh, okay, Kitty's gonna try to resist this because her mundane is already at max, and she thinks that she's pretty smart.
Roll 2d6, please.
7.
7, alright.
Yeah, listen here, Linda. You have a job to do as an A.E.G.I.S agent, and I have a job to do as junior class president. So I'm doing my job right now, and the fact that you didn't look and pay attention to your own handbook seems to sound like you're not doing your job right now.
What was your name, kid?
Kitty Carmichael?
Ah. City councilman's daughter. Explains why you think you could talk to me like that. We're done here.
I do get to mark potential for
Yes,
that, right?
you do.
Yay!
As she's walking away, you see the little tiny notebook sticking out of a back pocket. And you think that if you were to use your powers right now, you could possibly super speed grab it before she gets too far away without it looking completely unnatural.
Oh, hell yeah! Let's take that risk.
No Garys.
Yeah, give me an unleash your powers roll.
I think this will be a Gary, because she has a -1 for her freak.
12.
Oh! What'd you get?
A 2!
Oh boy!
You just grab her ass.
Congrats,
Hey, you get to level up.
As you charge up your powers, you're like getting ready to unleash your speeds to get closer. A beeping noise comes from within Agent Hammerhead's pockets, and she turns around to see you like barreling towards her. So you run into her. She pushes you away and says, "Well, you got some nerve there, Carmichael. I'm gonna have a conversation with your father about this. We'll see how much he likes you attacking an agent of the government." And then she looks at what was beeping. And Kitty, you're able to see that this is a meta signature detector.
Oh shit.
She doesn't look back at you. She just puts it in her pocket and walks away.
Oh.
Hey!
So I want to take a quick look at Tyson and Diego surfing the shipway. So I think the two of you are surfing towards, you said the harbor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kid, can you swim?
Not really.
Try your best, I got you.
So I think you begin heading towards the harbor, and then you turn a corner, and you speed past something on the wall that makes you stop and take a second look. It's a giant, ornate door that is definitely not there the last time you were down this turn. And it's got a big, italicized M on the front.
The wave of sewage comes to a screeching halt. You just kind of make a U-turn and take a peek. Wait, get off!
What are we doing?
That door wasn't there before.
Yeah.
I'm just... He puts Tyson down and then turns into stone again. I'm so sorry, buddy. That was...
You're sorry. I smell like.
I know.
smell like.
I know. Those guys back there were on my ass.
Yeah, you put your ass on me.
No, I didn't. No,
I
that
smell
was
like
not.
your poop.
No, just stop. We'll never speak of this. Never.
Oh, I will speak of.
Please don't tell Kitty. Okay, let's get cleaned up and let's tell people about the story. Yeah. You have a cell phone? No, you're 12.
Most 12-year-olds nowadays have cell phones.
What if we just open it?
Do you want to try to investigate it somehow?
Diego's not.
We are opening this door because I am not looking or smelling like this for nothing.
Wait,
And
what
he's
are you
gonna
doing?
open the door.
Okay. And you just push on it, and it slowly creaks open. There's like a bright light that comes from inside, spills out into the sewer tunnels as the doors slowly open to reveal a gigantic space inside. There's no way that this place actually fits underground. This space is lined on all sides with bookshelves. There are a bunch of seats just kind of in the middle and a stage at the very far end with a little podium. It reminds you of a lecture hall and a library combined. As you're looking through the bookshelves, just visually inspecting them and then your eyes focusing on the stage, you see a person coming onto the stage and they just have a rag and they're wiping down the chalkboards at the front. There's a low rumbling. This person doesn't seem to have spotted you yet, but you definitely recognize him from the other night as Jordan Squaller.
Tyson's still afraid too, right?
Yeah, he is still afraid. So you know what? He's gonna run away.
Okay. Try to close the doors behind you.
No. I just
Okay.
say we just go.
You also see the door close automatically, and then the walls kind of swallows it up.
What the fuck?
So, where does the team meet as a full unit?
Either back at the den or wherever around the school makes sense.
Go to Bob's place. Because I have to shower because Tyson's supposed to shit and change clothes.
Yeah, especially if
That's
it's the same
actually
day,
fair.
yeah.
That's fair.
So I think it's kind of awkward because you're all sitting around this kitchen table as Bob kind of just goes around in the background does anybody want more snacks? I have a bag of Cheetos, saving it for myself, but you kids can have it if you want.
I don't eat. But do you have something made of leather?
I have an old belt that I bought a while ago.
Thanks.
It's the one nice thing I own.
Diego puts it on and then becomes leather. Oh, okay, thank goodness.
Nell feels bad hearing him say, I'm saving it for myself. It was almost yeah, Cheetos. And then, no, I'm fine.
I also love this because Ricochet clearly also doesn't eat because she's wearing a freaking motorcycle helmet.
I was imagining Tyson comes out from a clean shower with a bathrobe and the towel.
And it's his third shower.
So I think before Tyson comes out, Bob just kind of looks at the three of you and says, "So I know that you don't know me very well, but I'm Tyson's guardian, Bob Rico. And I just wanted to say I'm really happy that he has people like you to help him out. He's in a sensitive spot in his development, and all the powers haven't made it any easier. So having people like you who know what's going on is good for him."
Middle school's hard enough without having superpowers. Tyson's doing really well.
Yeah, I got scrubbed in middle school. Don't ask me what that is.
And then as the shower door opens, Bob excuses himself and says, "I'll be in my room/office if anybody needs me."
Oh, Bob's belt. That's the one nice things that he owns.
It's great.
He has been wearing nicer suits recently. You have noticed that.
Ooh.
Suspicious. Okay.
So, what are we gonna do about this door situation? We're just supposed to guess a spot and hope that it's there?
Or they'll know we're there and where we are and open the door for us.
Oh, I don't like that. Oh.
So, the thing is, my uncle gave me this file, and now shares the A.E.G.I.S file on Dr. Lecture. This guy is probably the one behind the kid who's chanting to summon Skullluchador, and the person who said weird things to Ricochet, and probably a lot more people mentally influenced by this guy, possibly even Jordan Squaller.
Diego grabs the file immediately, starts flipping through it. Does he see any?
Can you turn the paper?
Well, yes, but
Yeah, and I turn the paper. But do I see anything about Jordan Squaller in there? Or is it a completely different person?
no, there would be a separate file about Jordan, but there is no immediate link to Jordan in this file. If I were to give a high-level summary of him is what you already heard, where he is a mentalist and employs hypnotic traps of various different kinds. The bit about the Meta Academy seems to be a small footnote, as if this is a relatively recent venture.
So there's a good chance he's already gathered a bunch of students and possibly kind of brain stuff them. You know?
Well, I don't like that. What if we go in there and he takes over one of our brains? What if he looks over at Tyson but then bites his tongue?
I
I
mean,
mean, any one of us.
yeah, it'd kind of be a bad thing. So the advice I was given was don't hesitate. Basically attack as soon as you see him.
Well,
Don't give
that's
him a
easy.
chance to do anything.
So are we just gonna walk into whatever trap he has laid out for us? It kind of sounds like if we follow up on going to the tunnels when we're asked to, we're walking directly into whatever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at least kind of worried, like, what other people he might have influenced. Because, like, we already know there's one person from our school, and then whatever person talked to Ricochet. And these are just, you know, people.
Yeah, as far as I know, Carmichael Jr. didn't have any powers, and then suddenly one day he just became, I don't know, Dark Phoenix or something.
My uncle said don't hesitate, and that don't focus on the people. Like the other people. And, well, that means they might get hurt.
That doesn't sound like you.
Everyone's been telling me that I should be more like my uncle. And if this is what my uncle is telling me to do, then maybe I should.
Alex, if you would like, you can say a bit more to trigger comfort or support, which would allow a label shift.
So here's the thing. Be more like your uncle, that's like they're asking you to be like somebody you're not. You're not your uncle. As far as we've been a team, all you've done is stand at the front and, you know, protect, not attack. Now they're telling you to attack?
I mean, I do have an axe.
Look, everybody out there just looks at you and sees savior, best fucking person to have around when danger hits. People look at me, you know what they think? They point at me and say danger. I wish I was in your shoes. You're allowed to be you and I'm not. So just be you, maybe. Not your uncle. I don't know. Whatever.
Roll that.
He grabs the game gear and starts playing it because he's awkward now. My turn. 10.
10, alright.
So yeah, I think Nell had been kind of pacing a little bit, looking out the window and all the way down to like the parking lot way below, and now comes over to the chair around the dining table and sits down, thinking over Diego's words. Maybe you're right. Maybe this whole time I've been trying to live up to what other people want me, instead of what I am. So, yeah, we go and try and save everyone.
Yeah. Ricochet, what do you think?
Ricochet, your phone just started ringing.
Oh, sorry, I gotta take this.
Oh. Alright, I guess I'll do it. Right.
As you go out to take the call, you see your dad's name on the screen. Do you answer this?
I'm gonna go with yeah.
Okay. And you put the phone up to your ear, and you hear,
Kitty Juniper Carmichael. What's this I hear about you attacking a federal agent?
Hi, Daddy. That was a real misunderstanding.
Yeah, I bet. It was the biggest of misunderstandings, and you're gonna clear that for me right now, right?
Yep, yeah, I am, Daddy. So the A.E.G.I.S agents, they've been all over the school. I was tasked, as the junior class co-president, which, you're really proud of me for.
That's my girl.
To go and confront them because they have a handbook that says that they need to be transparent about what they're doing. They need to have probable cause for unilateral action. The agent that I talked to, Agent Hammerhead, didn't really give me the time of day at all. and then I tripped and I fell into her, and she took that as me attacking her.
Well, sounds like a terrible misunderstanding. I'll clear that with the agents. But you have to be a little bit careful with those Aegis people. They're there for a good reason. There's been a lot of activity at that school recently. What with, there's that one chameleon kid hanging around, there was that skeleton boy, and I've heard that even Ricochet has been sighted on campus.
Okay, Daddy, I think only one of those people was a threat.
Well, you never know. Besides, you've got bigger things to worry about. You better get down to those tunnels soon.
The tunnels?
Yeah, you better get down here. Quickly, if you want to see me again.
Okay, Daddy, I'll be right there.
Hello everyone! Thanks for tuning in to Roleplay Radio this week. I'd like to give a huge thank you to all of the talented musicians that helped bring this podcast to life with their amazing music. You can find song names and links to the artists' web pages in the description. I would also like to thank our players who were involved in this project: Rin Garnett, Tyler Rubin, and Nikki Aguilar-Thompson. And a very special thanks to our talented GM, Michael Yang, who not only prepared this wonderful 5-part miniseries for Roleplay Radio, but who also scored and produced the Varsity Knights theme song. If you like what you heard, you can subscribe to his personal YouTube channel, which we've also shared in the description. Thanks again! I'm Alex Aguilar-Thompson, and I sure hope to see you again next week for another episode of Roleplay Radio.